Hey, how we doing? It's JJ. I've just come out for a bit of time in the woods where I have a permission in today, and I'm just going to cook up a little bit of a late lunch. Spam and mushrooms, methinks, cooked over the firebox stove with the Petromax raw iron frying pan, and going to have a brew. But I'm in a wood where I've got my old permission in. That's very apt for today. So you've got yourself a permission. You've got yourself a permission to use in the woods or at a site somewhere. That's brilliant. You've done all the groundwork, you've done the legwork, you've gone out, you've looked around, you've found a spot that you think is going to be good for what you want to do, and you want to practice your bushcraft or your wild camping, your foraging, or whatever it may be. And you've actually approached the landowner, you've had a chat, you've had a discussion, you've shown him the stuff that you're about. Show them your media, yeah? Show them what you're about. If you've all been a part of the Leave No Trace campaign, show them that. Show them how responsible you are as a person that's asked for a permission in somebody else's private property. Doesn't matter whether it's a wood, a field, or wherever, at the end of the day, it's classed as a property. And if you're fortunate enough to be given that permission, brilliant. So you've got your permission, and what do you do next? Well, one of the first things is that when you start setting up, you don't leave it like this abomination that's in my wood, that's already appeared in another video, and they're still coming here and they're still leaving shit and crap everywhere. I have actually just rung the landowner and said, look, they're still coming here, and he's going to try and get over a bit later, and he's going to help me sort of clear up some of this crap, because they're obviously not that fussed about leaving it here. So that's the number one thing that you do not do. You don't come into somebody else's woodland and leave it an utter crap hole. So ignoring that, as I say, you've done the legwork, you've done the groundwork, you've done the admin work, you know, you've chatted to the landowner, and brilliant, you're now set up. So when you get into this new place that you want to spend some time in, don't just go and immediately set up camp. Spend some time exploring that wood, looking at different possible sites for your setup, and actually spend some time there. Get yourself immersed into the landscape. Find out where the badger sets are. Find out where the foxes and the deer like to sit down, you know, and actually get immersed. And especially as we're now coming into autumn, you want to be thinking about winter as well. Yeah, think about winter. What's that going to bring to your permission? The winds are going to be stronger. The canopy would have all disappeared. It's going to be a lot more open. So what you want to do is spend a bit of time in that place. Look at the different possible sites that you want to use. Think about how open it's going to be in winter. Think about the permission of where your camp is going to be. Let me just pop this down here. Let's just pop it down. Save wandering around. So you look at your environment that you're in. Think about the best possible position for your little campsite. Okay, don't go immediately setting up a massive shelter area and that. Spend a few nights there, spend a few days there in a tent, in a hammock, in your bivvy, and find out which way the prevailing wind is generally going to come across that landscape that you've decided to put yourself into. That way you'll be much better suited when you do start setting up a regular area that you're going to go to. You'll have a much better appreciation of the comfort level. So if you're tucking yourself away and you know that prevailing wind's always coming in one direction, you know how you're going to set up your tarp. If you're in a hammock, you know which direction you're going to face your tent. And same with a bivvy. Now obviously the bivvy's much lower to the ground, but if you're going to build a little fire break and that, or a wind break, I prefer the term as a wind break, you want to get it angled so it's actually going to be stopping some of that prevailing wind coming onto you and blowing your smoke and the ashes all over your kit and all over your food if you're preparing food. So that's another thing to think about. If you are going to set up a little bit of a shelter area, think about how you're going to be attaching things and that. Now personally, I don't like to use paracord for lashing ropes up and things like that. You put yourself into a natural environment. How about using some natural cordage, some natural twine? It allows a lot more movement. If you've got, you know, trees coming up and you're putting a cross member across, you don't want to make it that tight that it doesn't allow for any movement in that cross member, and it's going to rub against the two uprights. So use a more natural cordage if you can, or if you are going to use, you know, paracord or Dyneema or whatever, Amstel, allow for some movement in winter when them trees are going to be swaying, so they're not rock steady, and all it's going to do is just rub away on the trees, and you know, that's not good for the environment. And also paracord, yeah, you can get it in all the camo patterns and the greens and the browns and that, but can't beat a bit of natural at the end of the day. It looks much better. And if you're cutting off pieces and it falls to the ground and you forget to pick it up, then you know, it'll wear away a lot quicker. Yeah, so just think about little things like that. Yeah, the landowner, okay, work with that landowner. Don't just assume you've got that permission. You can go carte blanche in the woodland and just start chopping down stuff everywhere. He's going to have an idea of an area that he'd ideally like you to be in, and he may say, look, some of these trees need to be sort of hacked back, or there's a big bit of copse which I'm going to take down. Can you give me some help? Offer your help, offer your free time. Keep working on that association that you've made. In time, that could become the most valuable association for your outdoor time. So think about stuff like that. The landowner is going to be keeping a regular eye on you. Yeah, so one of the things you want to be doing is you need to be conversing with him on a regular basis. You know, let him know, hey, I'm coming up to the woods today. Is there anything that you want to do? You know, if it's a farm or something like that, offer some time around the farm. Yeah, he or she has given you a permission, you have to give back as well. You tidy up, you offer your services. Is there something else that you can offer as well? You know, do you need an extra pair of hands on a farm at such and such a time of year? Can I help you with coppicing? Can I help you erecting fences around the estate? These are all little things that are going to stand in your favour. Another thing, and this is one thing that I learned by being in this wood, is that don't advertise your location. Yeah, I learned that to my disadvantage, and it didn't work for me. Yeah, too many people started sort of gathering an idea of where I was and that. So don't advertise your location, just say it's in my permission. Yeah, don't give away the location. Yeah, so many people on media will figure out where that piece is, and they'll go up there and think, well, if he's got permission, I'll go and use that permission as well. So yeah, just disguise the location, don't give away the location. I think that serves you better. Yeah, as I say, you work with the landowner. Yeah, you're respectful to the environment. Other people are going to come into this area that you've set yourself up, and they'll leave their rubbish everywhere. Yeah, for the most part, a lot of people won't, but there will be those that do. So always have some bags. Yeah, always have some bags. Pick litter up, take it home. If it's not yours, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're working in that environment. You're now a part of that environment. You become a custodian just like the landowner does. So there's just a few little things that I think can be sort of helpful. Yeah, just a good idea. As I say, you know, pick your location right. Think about the wind. Think about the seasons ahead and how that's going to serve you being in that permission. Yeah. Gather your wood source carefully. Don't go chopping down live trees. We all know that. In most woods there should be plenty of deadfall. There may be certain ones that you might need to just sort of take down if they're going to be in a precarious position. You know, look at widow makers above you in your position like that. That's all stuff that you should know and you should be learning anyway. Okay. But yeah, just think about how that woodland is going to serve you over the next few coming months. Start stockpiling your wood and that. And it doesn't need to be exactly right near your camp, and that it can just be a little bit off so it doesn't sort of stand out too much. Yeah. Has it got a water source? How are you going to carry water in to the site? Yeah. A lot of places we go to, they don't have a natural pond or a water source. So you need to be kind of thinking how much water you're going to be bringing up and storing away in that permission as well. And just enjoy your time. Yeah, be respectful. Yeah, watch how you portray it on media with a big fire on the ground. You know, a lot of people just go crazy. You're in a woodland and that, and you've got a massive blaring fire, and people rightly say that you're killing the ground, it's never going to recover. But if it's in an open area and you build that fire lay carefully, that fire pit area, that should be okay. But just think about how you're going to portray that. Yeah, it's so hard to get permission nowadays. You need to be doing everything that you can to put yourself in the best position possible to get a permission. So it's just a few little pointers. Hope that helps out. I'm getting hungry. Catch you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon. Bye.